My beloved child, amidst a world overflowing with noise, where countless hearts are swept away by busyness, by the applause of man, and by dazzling things that may appear to be from me, but are merely empty shells, I see you, the one who has chosen to remain in stillness, to hold fast to faithfulness, even when many turn their backs. Many have lost sight of me, not out of deliberate rebellion, but because they've forgotten the most precious treasure, intimacy. When blessings arrive, they become consumed with the gift and forget the giver. They walk away once they feel satisfied, not realizing that in that very moment of turning away, they are missing the most profound revelation I am about to pour out. But you, my child, you are different. You have chosen to stay not because you understand everything, not because you have no questions, but because your love for me surpasses every reason. This brings me great joy. It proves that you belong to me not only in words, but through your actions and your choices. You are among the rare ones who understand that my true presence is not always felt through fleeting emotion, but confirmed through enduring faith. I know there are moments when your heart wavers, when you wonder, Father, are you still here? There are days when your faith feels as fragile as a thread, like a small boat tossed on a great sea, drifting in the storm without sight of shore. There are moments when, even though you do not speak, your heart is filled with silent worries. Have I gone off course? Does the voice I once heard still speak today? But listen closely, my child, I have never left you. Not only when you pray, but also in the silence, in the restless nights, in the weariness that leaves you without words. I am there. I look upon you with the eyes of a father who never abandons. I uphold you with arms that never grow weary. I await your return, not with judgment, but with compassion and forgiveness. You are a vessel, not an ordinary one, but a chosen vessel. I did not choose you because you were strong or perfect, but precisely because you are soft and willing in my hands. You know how to humble yourself, how to listen, how to let me shape you even when the process brings pain. I do not fill your vessel with what is fleeting, but with life itself. Yet you must guard your heart so it is not filled with other things, unnecessary worries, confusing voices, distractions that blur your vision of me. A vessel cannot hold both light and darkness. You must preserve spiritual purity not by your own strength, but by remaining in me day after day. I urge you, my beloved, to keep listening. Listen until the very end. For there are words I only speak when your soul has been quiet long enough to hear. There are revelations that come late, not because I am slow, but because your heart must be deep enough to receive them. If you stop halfway, you might miss a miracle already waiting at your doorstep. Be steadfast. Stay near. For the blessings I am about to pour out are not momentary. They are a stream that transforms your destiny, your family, and even generations to come. And when you feel the most alone, that may be the very moment you are closest to me, for in your emptiness you finally have room for me to fill. Never measure my presence by emotion alone. See with eyes of faith, listen with ears of the Spirit. For I am the faithful one, the unchanging one, the one who chose you before you ever knew yourself. Nothing in you surprises me. I know your weaknesses, but I also know your love for me, and that makes all the difference. So, my child, do not stop listening. Do not leave this sacred stillness too soon. For what I am about to do is not just for a fleeting moment, but for a season of restoration, of new life, of anointing that no one can take from you. You belong to me. You are on the right path, and I am walking with you through every step, every breath, every whispered prayer. And the good work I have begun in you, I will complete it, for I am faithful. Do not be afraid. I am still here, and I will never leave. My beloved child, the love I have for you is unlike anything this world can define or describe. It is not confined by emotion, not conditioned by your behavior, and it never fades with time. Human love may shift with circumstance, may falter under misunderstanding, hurt, or weariness, but my love does not. It is as steadfast as a mountain, deeper than the ocean, and endures for all eternity. I love you not because you do anything to please me, but simply because you are you, my precious creation, molded by my hands of tenderness and perfect understanding. Before time began, before the sun shone or the stars took their place, I already knew you, not merely as an idea, but as a real presence in my heart, with all that you are, both light and shadow, both joy and fracture. You are not a coincidence of creation, nor a product of random choices from the past. You are my design, loved, chosen, and called by name. I foresaw every decision you would make, both the moments you boldly follow the Spirit's lead and the times you falter out of fear or doubt. I saw your triumphs and your brokenness, and through it all I called you mine. Nothing you have ever done right or wrong has changed that. I do not love you more when you pray fervently, nor less when you stumble in weakness. My love for you does not fluctuate with life's tides. It remains as constant as my unchanging nature. Therefore, my child, do not let the voices around you drown out my gentle whisper. There are lies from the world, from the past, and even from your own heart that say you are not enough, not worthy, not loved. But those are not true. They are schemes to rob you of your stability, to make you forget who you are in my eyes. Do not let storms of the mind, whether anxiety, disappointment, or fatigue, dim the light of what I have spoken. For my words are never meaningless. They do not fall to the ground in vain, but always accomplish what I send them to do. My promises are not fleeting phrases. They are eternal covenants, sealed with my very name and upheld by my everlasting power. You may not see it all yet. You may not understand why some doors remain closed or why my promises seem delayed. But remember, waiting is not a denial, it is preparation. What I have begun in you is not random, and I do not abandon any work I start. Every season you endure, every lesson you learn, every time you choose to believe despite the fog, all of it is completing a good and perfect plan. And when the time comes, not early, not late, you will see that every detail has been orchestrated with astonishing precision. There is no wisdom greater than mine and no love stronger than what I have for you. So hold fast to your faith. Even when the wind howls, even when questions weigh heavy, always return to the truth that you are loved, known, and held in the hand of your Creator. Let my word be the unshakable foundation of your life. Let my love be your armor each day. And believe this, I who began a good work in you will finish it, not because you are worthy, but because I am faithful. Remain in me, and you will see true love never leaves and true promises never fail. You are mine today, tomorrow, and forever, and that no one can take from you. My beloved child, in the journey I have ordained for you, there will be paths that feel like you're walking against the current of the world. There will be people, both familiar and unfamiliar, who do not understand why you choose this direction, why you let go of what they consider desirable, why you still believe, still press forward, though no sign is yet clear. They may question you, judge you, even mock what I am building in your heart. And in those moments you may feel alone, as if you're standing alone in a world unwilling to listen. But I want you to know one thing, something deeper and more vital than all else. My approval is worth infinitely more than any applause from man. You were not created to please the world. You were created to live in my pleasure. And though that path is not always easy, it is always the road to true life, to deep meaning, to joy that no circumstance can steal. I did not call you to live for temporary recognition, but to bear fruit that endures for eternity. So do not be alarmed when you are misunderstood. Do not falter when no one claps for your quiet obedience. Remember this, it is the narrow paths, the silent steps, the moments you stand for what is right even when no one sees, that is what makes you more like me. The closer you draw to me, the less you will be swayed by the opinions and glances of the world around you. Let me be your compass. One who never misleads, never changes. While the world says, this is the wise path, I will whisper a different way into your heart, one that may not be easy, may not be celebrated, but it leads to true peace. Let me be your guide, one who knows every stage you must walk through, every mountain you will climb, every river you must cross. I do not merely see the starting point and the destination. I walk with you through each step of the way. And above all, my child, let me be the greatest treasure in your life, for everything else can fade, can be lost or altered, but if you have me, you have everything. When you are in me, not just with your words, but with genuine attachment, full trust, and unconditional surrender, you will bear fruit. Not the kind of fruit that quickly withers, but fruit that brings life's spiritual impact and transformation, not only to you, but to those around you. This fruit will not rot with time, will not be wilted by criticism, will not be stolen by circumstances. It will remain because it is born of me, and what comes from me cannot be destroyed. I know there will be moments when you grow weary, There will be times you wish you could explain yourself so others would understand. But you do not need to prove anything to the world. You only need to remain faithful to me. Your quiet faithfulness in the secret place carries more weight than any public spotlight ever could. I see every small sacrifice you make for me. I count every tear you've shed in silence. I hear every whispered prayer from the places no one else sees. And I treasure it all more than anything the world could ever offer you. So, my child, keep your heart steady. Walk each step with the firm belief that I am working all things for good. No matter what others say, no matter how fierce the winds may blow, anchor your soul in this truth. You are chosen, you are loved, and you are led by a God who never abandons. If you remain in me, fix your eyes on me, and keep your heart anchored in my presence, you will witness fruit blossoming in barren lands, rivers flowing in dry deserts, and life within you, radiating like dawn, stretching to the ends of the earth. Do not fear loneliness, my child, for sometimes it is in solitude that you hear my voice most clearly. Do not fear being misunderstood, for I am the one who understands you completely. And do not fear the road less traveled, for I go before you, opening the way and waiting for you at the journey's end with arms wide open. You are not lost, not forsaken, not forgotten. You are within the good plan of your Father, a plan no one can ruin, and nothing can snatch from my hands. Stay in me, and you will see all I have promised will come to pass. For I am your Father, and you are my very own. My beloved child, amid the countless voices that surround your life each day, listen closely for one gentle yet powerful voice echoing from the depths of life itself that is mine. I am calling you not just to draw near in fleeting moments of hurried prayer or emotionally charged worship that quickly fades. No, my child, my call reaches beyond the temporary. I am calling you into a deeper communion where you know me, not merely by facts, but by the intimacy of your soul, where my presence is no longer distant but becomes the very breath that saturates your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. I do not crave rituals. I do not demand appearances. I desire an open heart. I long to walk with you not only in the sanctuary, but in your kitchen, your quiet room, and the silent steps of your daily life. I yearn to be essential in your everyday moments, not as a guest who visits, but as a father who abides, a refuge, an inspiration, a flame that never fades. I long to soak your soul like rain upon dry ground, so that every corner of your being carries the fragrance of life, healing, and joy from heaven. But for that to happen, you must make room for me. I will not compete with the noise. I will not force my voice to be heard. True love does not impose, it invites. So lay aside those things that scatter your heart, people's expectations daily, worries, the ever-glowing screens, and even the fears that whisper in the background. They are not inherently evil, but when they occupy all the space in your mind, there is little left for me. Prepare your heart like you prepare a room, clear away the clutter so I can enter and dwell. Do not fear stillness, for in that very silence you will hear me more clearly than ever before. Come sit at my feet, not to present a list of needs, but simply to be with me. Just as Mary chose the better portion by sitting at my feet and listening, you too choose what cannot be taken from you. In a world that constantly hurries, it is in that still place I will whisper mysteries, truths not found in books or discovered by human striving, but revealed to those who love me and abide in me. I will unveil to you the hidden things of my heart, not because you've earned them, but because you are the one I love. It is in that place I will strengthen you, not just with power to work or endure adversity, but with strength to stand firm in truth, to live in alignment with the destiny you've been called to. I will renew you not by changing what's around you, but by transforming what's within you. And when that happens, you will taste a joy beyond description, a joy not born from success nor from fleeting things, but from deep communion with the one who created you. My child, the world will always have something to claim your time and your mind, a new distraction, a worry, a demand. But none of these things can satisfy the thirst in your soul like my presence can. You are made to live in connection with me, not merely with your mind, but with your entire being. And every time you choose to draw near to me, you are stepping into the most real, the deepest, and the most enduring reality of your life. Therefore, do not let your life pass by merely knowing of me through others, through events, or through fleeting moments. Let me be a living part of everything you do. Begin your day with me, walk with me, speak with me, in quietness, and end your day in the embrace of my love. You will see, such a life is not a burden, it is a sacred privilege. And in that intimacy you will discover why you were created to love me, and to be loved by me completely, eternally, and inseparably. Come in, the door is always open. I am waiting for you not to scold, but to embrace. Not to judge, but to restore. Not to hear many words from you, but so you may rest and hear me. Hear the voice of your Father who has loved you since before time began. And in that very stillness you will realize you lack nothing, because in me you have everything. My beloved child, never let your current circumstance or the wounds of your past convince you that you are merely a survivor wandering through life's storm. No, you were not born just to survive, you were born to overcome. Not by your own strength, not by worldly tactics, but by my presence and my power. I who have chosen you, called you, and placed a heavenly mark upon your soul. You are an anointed warrior, heir to an unshakable kingdom, and every step you take is backed by heaven's authority. And because you are in me, every weapon formed against you, no matter how sharp, cunning, or disguised, will not succeed. The world may try to make you doubt. It may raise voices to make you feel less than rejected or unworthy of my love. But remember this, no condemnation from the mouths of men can override the affirmation from me. Every tongue that rises against you, whether from others, from the world, or even from your own self-doubt, will be silenced by the authority I've placed within you. This is your inheritance, not a prize for the perfect, but a gift for the one who is mine. Walk in that authority. Do not hang your head in shame. Do not shrink back in fear. Do not live as though you must beg for the world's mercy. You carry the spiritual DNA of the Father of Light. Lift your head not out of pride, but because you know to whom you belong. When you face adversity, do not speak from despair. Speak life. Speak what I have declared, not what the storm shouts. When you proclaim my word, you are not just making noise. You are releasing power that transforms the very atmosphere. Speak of healing even when your body aches. Speak of restoration even when your heart is broken. Speak of victory even when all you see is a dead end. For my word is not limited by your circumstance, it carries within it the breath of creation and the power of resurrection. You have been given a place in the sacred realms, not as a stranger, but as an heir. Enter it with confidence. Do not let lies convince you that you are unworthy. No human is worthy, but grace has made a way. I myself have given you the right to stand in my presence, to speak with me as a child speaks to their father. Take that place. Do not linger at the threshold when the door stands open. Do not live beneath your inheritance when you've been given authority. You do not need to wait for a perfect moment to live like a victor. Right now in your current situation, you can walk in the assurance that you are not alone and not defeated. For I go before you, I surround you, and I dwell within you. What comes against you may be great, but the one within you is far greater. Do not define your future by the darkness. Look instead at the light I've placed inside you. It is not only enough to illuminate your path, it is enough to burn through every shadow of doubt. My beloved child, you were not created merely to endure, but to overcome gloriously. You are not a victim, you bear the mark of the one who has already triumphed. What I have begun in you, I will bring to completion. No force, no voice, no circumstance can steal from you what I have promised. Walk not in fear, but in faith. Speak not with complaints, but with power. Live not as one barely clinging to life, but as one carrying life to a world that is fading away. You are a light set on a hill, the salt of the earth, a carrier of spiritual influence wherever I have placed you. Never underestimate the weight of your presence in a family, a city, or a generation. You are not placed there by accident. You are positioned to reveal my power and mercy. Be bold in your destiny. Step courageously into every door I open. And always remember, you never walk alone. I go with you, I fight for you, and I rejoice over you, the one who has known sorrow and still chooses to believe, who has seen darkness, yet chooses to step into the light. You are victorious not by your own strength, but through me, the one who called you out of darkness into my marvelous light. and nothing, no one, no circumstance can change that. You are mine, and that is an eternal truth. My beloved child, along this journey, you are walking through applause and whispers of doubt, through the brightness of victories and the quiet shadows of sacrifice. I ask only this of you: remain humble. For when you bow low, you do not diminish your worth, but declare boldly that everything you accomplish comes from me. In humility, you open a wide path for my grace to flow without hindrance. And in that hidden place, the place no one sees without spotlight, where only you and I remain, you will receive unshakable strength, unwavering confidence, and a soul built to endure every storm. Never forget, my child, that every success you experience, every door that opens, every step forward you take, none of it is because of your own merit or extraordinary ability. It is all because of grace. Grace that found you when you were lost, grace that lifted you when you fell, and grace that still surrounds you every day. Grace is not a reward for the capable, but a gift for those who know they need their Father. So when you stand firm, give me glory. When you're praised, turn your heart toward me. And when people ask your secret to success, do not hesitate to say, "It is because of my Father who never left me, even when everyone else did." And when you choose to live this way with gratitude and genuine humility, at the appointed time I will lift you up, not to make you proud, but to make you a light to those still stumbling in the dark. I never forget the faithful in the secret place. I do not overlook your tears shed in obedience. Every time you choose honesty over convenience, silence over anger, forgiveness over bitterness, those very choices are laying a solid foundation. And on that foundation I will build you into a tower that no storm in life can shake. But for you to stand in this grace, your heart must be pure. Your hands must be clean, unstained by manipulation, untainted by greed or jealousy. Even your smallest motives must align with my will. Do not do what is right just for praise. Do not serve merely for recognition. Do not seek glory for yourself, when true glory belongs only to me. I do not look at outward appearances, but I examine the depths of the heart, and if I find your heart to be upright, I will grant you a steadfastness no storm can overthrow. Do you know this, my child? I care for you not only through miracles or abundant provision, but also through quiet guidance each day, through gentle reminders, through protection from dangers you never even knew existed. I see every small choice you make out of love for me. I see the times you choose truth when lies could have saved you. I see when you stand alone for righteousness' sake, and I am pleased, not because you are flawless, but because you are honest. Not because you never fall, but because you always rise and turn your heart back to me. My child, sometimes integrity will cost you. There will be those who do not understand. There will be losses that seem unfair. But I promise you, nothing you sacrifice for me is ever wasted. Every decision you make for righteousness' sake will be repaid by me with rewards no one can steal. When you choose faithfulness, you are storing up treasures that do not decay, not just for this life, but for eternity. And one day you will look back and see it was the narrow path that led you into an unexpected expanse. So, beloved one, do not lose the tenderness of your heart. Do not let the world harden you. Hold on to your sacred simplicity, to the fire of your prayers, to the tears you shed when you hear my voice. These are precious things, no amount of fame can replace them. And I, your Father, will always be there to walk with you, to remind you, to love you, and to lift you up, not because you earned it, but because you positioned yourself where my blessings can be poured out without restraint. You are mine, the one I delight to see, the one I shield in the tides of life, and the one I am leading into glory. Keep walking with humility and unwavering faith, for in humility you will discover true strength. In obedience you will see my hand, and in every breath of your life I will be there, the one who sees, who knows, and who never forgets. My beloved child, when you choose to move forward, not by sight but by faith, not because everything is clear, but because your heart still believes, that is the very moment heaven begins to move. Every step you take, whether trembling or confident, is not in vain. It reflects a heart that refuses to give up, a soul that clings to the promise, and a faithful spirit that stirs my own heart. I see you, my child, not only when you sing in joy, but especially when you walk in silence, when your prayers go unanswered, when you still choose to trust me, though everything seems contrary. In those moments you have captured my heart with your steadfast faith. Therefore, as you keep moving forward, expect miracles. Do not limit me to what you've seen or understood. I am the one who brings life out of nothing, who carves paths through deserts, who splits seas and rains manna from heaven. I am not bound by time or circumstance. What you call delayed, I call perfectly timed. Doors you thought were shut, I can open in ways no one imagines. Do not judge by silence, for in the quiet I am still working. In the waiting I am still preparing. And with every moment you trust, something is being shaped in heaven, ready to be released into your life. Expect breakthrough. Not just the kind that changes outward situations, but breakthrough from within, where you realize you are no longer a victim of your past, but chosen for a new future. The breakthrough I give breaks invisible chains, releases what has been delayed, and shatters old limits so you can step into a season of fullness and abundance. I do not want you merely to survive. I want you to walk in victory. I do not want you to simply know life. I want you to experience life abundantly. And when you expect that you are showing your faith in me, the one who never breaks his promises, wait for my goodness, not with doubt, but with the posture of a child who knows their father is loving and faithful. My goodness is not a distant reward, it is my very nature. I am good in every moment, even when you cannot feel it. And that goodness will not always come in the form you expect. Sometimes it arrives through closed doors that lead to better ones, through silent seasons that prepare you for fruitfulness. You do not need to prove your worth, you only need to keep trusting. For I am the rewarder of those who diligently seek me, not because I owe anything, but because my heart rejoices in seeing faith rise in yours. My child, do not stop moving forward. Do not give up because of weariness or the opinions of others. Remember, not everyone sees what I am doing in you. But I see. I know. I am there. Every time you choose forgiveness, love, hope, and faithfulness, you are planting seeds for a harvest that no one can steal from you. Speak boldly that the best is still ahead. Do not let yesterday's mistakes define tomorrow's destiny. Do not let today's fears block tomorrow's miracle. What I have for you is not based on your perfection, but on my unchanging covenant, a covenant sealed in eternal love. And above all, my child, remember, I am walking with you. Not just going before you to prepare the way, but staying beside you to uphold you. Not just commanding from afar, but as your tender father holding your hand. I am not watching from a distance. I am journeying with you step by step. When you grow tired, I carry you. When you stumble, I lift you. When you weep, I listen. And when you have nothing left to offer, in that moment I desire one thing alone, your simple, honest faithfulness. That is what delights heaven. That is what moves my heart. So, my beloved child, keep walking. There is no need to look back at the past with regret, nor to gaze into the future with anxiety. Fix your eyes on me, the one who holds your present and has already written a beautiful ending for your life. And as you go, carry this word deep in your heart: the Father is with me, and every good thing He has promised He will bring to fulfillment. Not early, not late, but right on time. And when that time comes, you will look back and realize that every step of trust was never in vain. For I, the one who began a good work in you, will be faithful to complete it until the day of glory. My precious child, in a world filled with constant noise where people tirelessly chase fame, fortune, success, or even self-validation, countless souls are wandering in an emptiness they cannot even name. They are endlessly searching for things they believe might fill the void inside, things that might make them feel accepted, loved, and truly alive. But child, nothing among those things can truly satisfy the soul. Nothing from this world can give them the kind of peace that remains unshaken, a peace that does not come and go with circumstances but endures even when everything else falls apart. Let this sink deeply into your heart as a timeless truth. Anything that does not come from me cannot sustain you in true life. What does not originate from the Father will sooner or later leave behind a sense of weariness and emptiness that no success can soothe. Losing me is rarely a sudden collapse. It is not an unexpected accident. It is a quiet, drifting, a slow and subtle shift that is deeply dangerous. It does not begin with a grand act of rebellion, but with tiny backward steps, with growing negligence in your spiritual life. When you stop seeking me each morning, when your ears grow too busy to hear my gentle whispers, when fleeting pleasures of the world begin to replace the intimate moments with me, that is when your soul starts to drift. It is not loud, it doesn't announce itself, but it pulls you steadily away from the place of peace, from truth, from the very place where you once knew my voice and my tender presence so clearly. Child, your enemy doesn't always come roaring with threats. Often he arrives in the form of reasonable-sounding whispers of seemingly harmless distractions. He tells you, pray later, you don't need to read God's word today, just this once, then tomorrow you'll return. He makes you believe that the distance between you and me is minor, easily fixed whenever you choose. But the drift doesn't happen because you deliberately abandon me. It happens because you stop choosing me every day. A heart that no longer turns to the Father moment by moment is a heart growing faint. And when your heart weakens, even the smallest things can become strong enough to carry you away from me. I do not blame you for every stumble, for the moments when you were swayed. I know the battle you are facing. I know your heart still longs for me, even when you feel tired and unsure. But I call you now to awaken. Let this word be the trumpet call to your spirit. Do not lose me, not because of one dramatic event, but because of small daily choices that slowly create a gap. Return. Proactively cast aside every distraction. Open your heart to discern which voice is mine and which is a lie. Every time you choose silence before me, every time you refuse to let the world define your worth, every time you make me your first priority, you are pulling your soul back from the quiet current that tries to take you away. Beloved child, the fullness you are longing for does not come from what your hands can grasp, but from the one who has held your heart since before time began. I am not a piece of your life, I am your life. You do not only need me in crisis, you need me to breathe, to live rightly, to remember who you truly are in this loud and unstable world. When you remain connected to me, you will not be swept away by what is fleeting. When you stand on my word as your foundation, you will not be shaken by criticism or applause. When you make room for me to dwell, everything else will naturally fall away from the space of your heart. And when you return, no matter how far you've drifted, no matter how much has been lost, I am still here waiting, not with sadness or anger, but with open arms of a father who knows every crack in your heart. I don't want you to come back out of guilt or fear, but because you remember the taste of my presence, the joy that logic cannot explain, the peace that asks for nothing in return when you're in me. I long to see you sit beside me again in stillness, in love, in real connection. So, my child, do not wander so far that you lose the most precious thing of all. Do not trade true life for the illusion of gain. Stay alert against distractions, against seemingly logical invitations laced with danger. Choose me every day, every hour, every breath. And if you are tired, if you are drifting, then right now pause. Let your heart anchor itself in me, for I am still here. I still love you, as I did from the beginning. I still believe in you. And I still call you back to the place where your soul is truly satisfied, healed, and made whole, just as I intended. My beloved child, there is one truth I earnestly desire you to inscribe upon your heart, a truth so deep that your soul must grasp it in order to walk in true freedom. You cannot draw near to me while clinging to bitterness, unforgiveness, and pride within your heart. These emotions, though they may seem justified in the eyes of men as natural responses to betrayal, injustice, or pain, are in fact chains that bind your soul from peace, from light, and from my very presence. I do not speak this to condemn you, but to set you free. For I see clearly many have not lost their faith because they walked away from the church or ceased to pray, but because they allowed bitterness to take root in their hearts. They hold on to hurtful words as proof that their anger is valid. They clutch painful memories as though releasing them would mean denying their own story. But my child, the more tightly they grasp these things, the farther they drift from me, not because I move away, but because their hearts have built walls that shut me out. Unforgiveness is not merely a wound that has not healed, it is a closed door. When you refuse to forgive, you are locking yourself inside a land of shadows, a place where my voice grows faint, where grace feels distant, and where your heart remains shut to the newness I long to pour out. I know you have been hurt. I know some of what you endured was unjust, cruel, and hard to accept. But I also know that if you continue to allow those wounds to govern your emotions and your choices, you will always live bound to the past, tethered to pain, imprisoned by those who hurt you. My child, I have forgiven you not because you earned it, but because I love you. I have forgiven it all, the moments you turned away, the moments you doubted, the times you betrayed my love in subtle ways. And because of that, I call you now to do the same, to forgive others as I have forgiven you. Forgiveness does not mean declaring their actions right. Forgiveness is the courageous act of releasing the right to retaliate, of laying down burdens that were never meant for you to carry, of placing those people into my hands, the hands of justice and mercy. Forgiveness says, I choose freedom. I choose not to let another's actions have authority over my heart or my future. When you choose to forgive, you do not merely release others, you release yourself. You open the door for healing to begin. You allow me to pour in a peace that no words can explain. You step into harmony with my heart, a heart that holds no grudges, harbors no vengeance, and is filled with mercy, kindness, and unconditional love. And in that sacred space where you lay down your anger, where you dare to let go of the weight, you will experience a different kind of blessing, not material gain, not public applause, but a deep, holy lightness in your soul. That is life, true life, free life, life in the light. But if you still hold on to unforgiveness, even just a sliver, you are holding back a part of your heart from me. You are closing the door to healing. You are clogging the flow of blessing. And you will find yourself going but never arriving, praying but feeling dry, serving but growing weary, because your heart has yet to be fully free. Do not let any person or pain rob you of the precious communion between you and me. Surrender them to me. Let me handle what you cannot. Choose to walk lightly no matter how heavy the past has been. Forgiveness is a journey, and I am willing to walk it with you. I do not demand you forget everything in an instant, but I invite you to begin. Begin with a simple prayer. Father, I want to forgive. Help me, and I will do the rest. I will touch places in your memory still aching. I will dry the tears you've hidden. I will fill the spaces left empty by pain. And from there you will feel your heart lighten, brighten, soften, and live again. My child, do not let unforgiveness become the dark room within the temple of your soul, a place where my light cannot reach. Throw that door wide open. Invite me in. Let me do what only I can turn. Wounds into wisdom, sorrow into grace, brokenness into gateways where the brilliance of love may shine. When you forgive, you become like me, and that is the most beautiful thing you could ever become. I am here, my child, not to accuse but to heal, not to demand but to restore. And if today you are willing to forgive, I promise you this, you will taste freedom in a way deeper than anything this world could offer. You will truly live in love, in my presence, and in my unshakable blessing, and you will never walk this path alone. For I, the one who forgave you, will be with you, always teaching you, lifting you, and making you a living witness to the power of forgiveness. My beloved child, in the moments when you feel weak, surrounded by weariness and pressure, when the world rises like a storm, and the whispers of the enemy try to plant seeds of doubt, do not be afraid. Do not let the darkness obscure this great truth. You are not abandoned, you are not defeated, and you are not fighting alone. For I have already defeated the enemy on the cross. That victory is not merely symbolic, it is a living reality given to you as a sacred inheritance. You are not striving for victory, you are fighting from a position of victory. Every power, every scheme of darkness has been overturned by me, and you, my precious child, have been made a partaker in that triumph. So stand firm, my child. Do not let fear paralyze your heart. I have not called you to shrink back, I have called you to rise. I have not left you empty-handed on the battlefield. I have equipped you with a full armor, every piece infused with power to guard, protect, and repel the enemy. Put on the helmet of salvation to shield your mind from the lies that say you're unworthy, that you're not enough, that you've fallen from grace. Wear the breastplate of righteousness, not a righteousness you earned, but one I gave through the sacrifice of my Son. Gird yourself with truth, for it is truth that steadies you, truth that prevents you from being deceived by the world's disguises. Shod your feet with the gospel of peace, so that every step you take, carries a peace that does not come from the world but from my living presence. Take up the shield of faith, for faith in me will extinguish every flaming arrow of the enemy, every negative word, every thought that tempts you to give up. And finally, hold fast the sword of the Spirit, my word, your power, your weapon, not just for defense, but for offense, for deliverance to tear down every stronghold that rises against you. My beloved, I will not deceive you into thinking this journey will be easy. You will face trials. There will be temptations that whisper compromise. There will be hardships that provoke doubt. But remember this, these are all temporary. Every pain, every tear, every battle has an end. They do not last forever. But what awaits you, the glory being prepared, lasts eternally, and that glory will eclipse all suffering. I not only promise the reward, I promise to walk with you the entire way so that you may cross every valley with my companionship. Never think you must face temptation alone or battle isolation in your own strength. I am your refuge, a fortress that cannot be shaken. When all else trembles, I remain steadfast. I am your strength when your body is tired, when your soul is weary. I will renew you, lifting you up to soar like an eagle. I am your ever-present help, not occasionally, not only when you feel worthy, but in every moment, in every circumstance. When you need me most, I am closest of all. But my child, in order to walk in that complete victory, your eyes must remain fixed on me. Do not allow your gaze to be pulled toward the sidelines, those tempting distractions, the voices of discouragement, the things that steal your focus. Keep your eyes on me. As a soldier never loses sight of his commander, as a child never looks away from his father amid a chaotic crowd. Seek me with all your heart, not half-heartedly, not with hesitation. And I promise you this, when you seek me wholeheartedly, you will find me not as a distant shadow, but as a near-living, sweet and powerful presence. Draw near to me, my beloved. Do not wait until you feel ready to come. Do not think you need to put your life in order first, in order to be worthy. Come as you are tired, confused, even disappointed. I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for authenticity. And if you take one step closer to me, I will take 10 steps toward you. For my love is not a reward for the deserving, but grace poured out upon the heart that longs to be near me. So then, my child, stand firm. Put on my armor each day, not as a ritual, but as a way of life. Remember that authority has been given to you not just to survive, but to overcome. Speak my word, walk by faith, resist the enemy, and he will flee. For you do not fight alone. You fight in the name of the one who has already conquered. And that one, yes, I myself am with you today, tomorrow, and forever. You are mine, and nothing can ever change that. Amen. As a child of God, you are never alone. He is beside you in every moment, reminding you to live in faith and to remain in His love. Follow and turn on notifications so you won't miss the words I speak from the heights of heaven. Amen.